Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Got a bit of a shine here today. I think I probably should have closed the window a little more. But anyways, we're going to leave it. I want to welcome you here to August the 14th. This will be run number 14 on my favorite 4-album runs, a series that we're running for the month of August. We got a really good one here, I think. Could have started this maybe could have moved it up one, but I decided this is a good 4-album run for them. Absolutely killer. I like all these albums a lot. And of course, we're talking about Iron Maiden. Killers is where we're going to start today. So this one, a bit of an outlier from the others because we have a different vocalist here, Paul D'Angelo. Absolutely killer. Where's my glasses here? So, yeah, killer album, no puns intended. Always loved the Iron Maiden album covers. To me, this was the kind of really first really good one. Absolutely killer. The first album's not bad either, but it's a little bit of an outlier from their stuff, a little bit different. This one still has some of that punky sound going on, but it's beginning to coalesce, and Clive Burr is also on this album playing drums. Absolutely kidding. So this was produced, of course, by Martin Birch. It has Wrathchild on it, Murders in the Rue Morgue, which was probably the first Iron Maiden song I ever heard that I really liked. Another Life, another good song. Genghis Khan is on here as well. And Prodigal Son, Killers. Like it's a solid album. Is it one of my favorite Iron Maiden albums? I don't know if it makes the top 5 or 10, but it's definitely a solid album. It's the beginning of that Iron Maiden sound. There's a picture of them when they're young inside of the album. With Iron Maiden, it's always the same too. They've got some like killer stuff going on here. I love the fact they give you all the lyrics too, but the album cover is fantastic. So this begins that 4-album run for them. Killers, Iron Maiden, their second studio album. Kind of the same as, falls into line with that Jethro Tull one we did yesterday because it's the second, third, fourth, and fifth studio albums. And again, there are other runs by Iron Maiden that are interrupted by the same type of thing, by albums that I either don't own or haven't listened to yet enough to warrant giving it a change. So this is the entry point for me with Iron Maiden, an absolute killer album. Probably, I would say it's probably still my favorite Iron Maiden album. Children of the Damned, great tune. Well, Invaders, of course, is really good too, but The Prisoner was the first song on the album that I really took to. 22 Acacia Avenue, I liked this one early on as well. Of course, everybody knows the two big radio songs of the time, Number of the Beast and Run to the Hills. Both absolutely killer songs. I think Number of the Beast has stood the test of time. Run to the Hills has kind of faded a bit over time. This has a multimedia section on the album as well, where they do Run to the Hills and Number of the Beast, so you get them twice on this one album, especially enhanced versions. So then Gangland, good song. Total Eclipse is good as well. But then you get to one of the epic Iron Maiden tracks, one of the most well-known Iron Maiden tracks, probably the one that most people know. Well, there's a couple that really fall into that category, and this is Hallowed Be Thy Name. Absolutely killer track. For a long time, it's been my favorite, but it's sort of burned out, so it's kind of faded a bit and given rise to a couple of other songs. Anyways, the album cover is absolutely killer, and you got this back part, which is really killer as well. I'm not sure what's on the back. But on the back of the inside flap, you also have this live kind of in concert thing. So this album, of course, marks the debut of Bruce Dickinson for Iron Maiden in vocals, replacing Paul D'Angelo. But really strong. Clive Burr still here on the drums, but an excellent album. Next up is Many Feel Their Best album. I can't really argue with it. It's not my favorite of their albums. But it's an absolute killer album. The album cover is absolutely killer, as usual. You got a nice picture of them sitting around a table here. And then you got the back of the album, which is kind of a little bit bizarre. The album cover of this album is a brain. It's kind of really weird. A little bit much. But killer album with lots of well-known Iron Maiden songs and lots of deep cuts. This album probably has more deep cuts than any of their other albums. Or Eagles Dare, of course. Revelations, another great tune. The Flight of Icarus, which for a while was my favorite Iron Maiden song. Die With Your Boots On, another good one. And then, of course, the legendary Trooper is on here, another very well-known, very famous Iron Maiden song. Many feel maybe their best track or their most well-known track. Quest for Fire, this one's a little bit of an underlay. Sun and Steel and To Tame the Land are both decent as well. Another Martin Birch production, as they all have been at this point. So there you go. Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. Their fourth studio album. Their fifth studio album is this album, Power Slave. To me, this is so I think they kind of, in many ways, reached a pinnacle with Peace of Mind. And then they kind of stayed almost level, maybe a little tiny bit of a drop, but very minuscule drop for the next few albums. And this one, absolutely killer. Aces High, fantastic. I did a video on this album, I think it was last week, for my look back. So if you want to get a little more detail on it, you can go back and look at that as well. This has 2 Minutes to Midnight, another absolute killer radio song. Some people have kind of gotten tired of it, but it's still a fantastic. It has Flash of the Blade, The Duelist, both really strong. Power Slave, of course, another good one. But then it has the epic, long, almost progressive metal rock sound, and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is another one of those well-known, famous Iron Maiden deep cuts, that became bigger than the rest of the album. I think that's the case here. Another great album cover, and I believe this one is also by Martin Birch, although I don't see his name on this one like I did on the others. It's got to be on here, though. I'm pretty sure it's him. Let me look inside here. Yep, Martin Birch. I knew it was him. I just didn't see his name anywhere on the back cover. Anyways, another great album, finishing off a fantastic 4-album run. I think well deserving to be on this list. Could have, like I said, could have started with Number of the Beast and went further up. But I think Killers has to be in there somehow. So those are your 4 albums from Iron Maiden. All classic, all great Iron Maiden. Killers to start it off, their number 2 studio album. Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast, the first album with Bruce Dickinson, and their 3rd studio album. Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind, the first album with Nico McBrain on drums. And maybe the best album they produced up to this point. Hard to say. They've got so many good ones. Everybody has a favorite. Many people, I think, feel that's their best. And then Power Slave ends off the run, their 5th studio album, absolutely killer. This one absolutely has that Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. See, in some ways, this album's kind of reflect a similar story as Jethro Tull. You got the good first real sounding album by them, same as Jethro Tull's stand-up. And you've got Number of the Beast, the one that really launched everything for them. I don't know if this might be a little bit different than what Benefit might have contributed. This is their big album, Peace of Mind, which is kind of similar to Aqualung that way. And then you got this one, which is a little bit different because it has that really lengthy tune on it, something like Thick as a Brick. So yeah, a little bit of a comparison there between the two. I thought it was interesting how that worked out. Anyways, there you have it. Iron Maiden, my number 18 in my favorite 4-album runs, the series that we're running for the month of August. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell. Leave comments in the comment section about the run, about Iron Maiden, or about anything we're doing here. That would be great. I'd like to answer those things. And don't forget, we will be back again tomorrow with yet another album in my 4 album runs for the month of August. So have yourself a good day and a good evening. Take care and goodbye.